MovieWeb.com.
Hey, I'm Jamie Philbrook from MovieWeb.com, and we're here in the gorgeous Napa Valley area of Northern California, eating, praying, loving it up for the new movie Eat, Pray, Love, starring Julia Roberts. Here's what Julia, actors Javier Bardem, Richard Jenkins, Billy Crudup, and director Ryan Murphy had to say about the new movie.
Since I was 15, I've either been with a guy...
Your underwear, my queen.
Just folded my delicates.
You are in so much trouble.
Or breaking up with a guy. I haven't had so much as 2 weeks just to deal with myself. What did you have for lunch today?
I don't know. A salad?
Exactly. I used to have this appetite for food, for life, and it's just gone. I want to go someplace where I can marvel at something.
You know, a lot of men, I think, are going to look at the movie and say, oh, it's a chick flick. But it's so much more than that. I mean, it really deals with universal themes that we can all relate to.
Absolutely. And it's your responsibility to make the boys realize that.
And what was it about some of those universal themes, you know, forgiving yourself, that she really is a main thing she's learned that you liked in the movie?
Well, you know, the thing that Javier says when people talk about the book and how much women like the book, he said, the book is for everybody because we've all had our heart broken. We've all needed to forgive ourselves. We've all needed to let go. We've all felt guilty for something. I mean, it's the human condition, really. And I think he's exactly right. And I think that it's also something that, you know, girls in their 20s, men in their 30s, like, it's just gonna kind of resonate with all different types of people.
It's not a movie, it's not what you call the chick flick. It's a movie about people struggling against their own fears, doubts, insecurities, and that's beyond genre. That's beyond being female or male. It's about human beings trying to find themselves and being in a peaceful place where they can forgive themselves finally. And she does the whole journey, and during the journey she meets different people, and I guess at the very end she meets Felipe, the character that I play, where when he himself has done that journey before and he's in that peaceful place, and encouraging her to do the same.
I cannot focus in there. All I think about is my meditation room and how to decorate.
The meditation room is within groceries. Decorate that.
Do you always talk in bumper sticker?
I do, and here's another one. You have to learn to select your thoughts the same way that you select your clothes every day. Now, that's a power that you can cultivate. If you want to come here and you want to control your life so bad, work on the mind, and that's the only thing you should be trying to control. Because if you can't master your thoughts, you're in trouble forever.
So I wanted to begin by asking you, you have such a wonderful role in this film, and your character has this great scene near the end where he's on the roof and he's really telling his backstory to Julia. And I thought Ryan Murphy, the director, did a wonderful thing where he really lets the camera just still on you during that whole speech. And I understand that you nailed it in one take, in the first take. Could you talk about doing that scene?
Well, we did it. He used the first take. We actually did more, but we did coverage and everything like that. But he ended up using the very first take. When he told me that, I said, "Really?" Because it doesn't cut. It stays there. Yeah, and it just pans over to Julia, and I guess it comes back. I haven't seen it yet, but that one was fun. I remember that take being, really good.
I understand that he actually spoke to the real Richard from Texas, and he sort of worked with him to craft that speech a little bit.
He did, and I didn't know that. In fact, I thought that it was not real, because it's not in the book.
Right.
And so I just assumed that Ryan wrote it. And I understand why he wrote it, because he said, I want to know why this guy is here. But what happened was he went to, I think he asked Liz Gilbert about Richard, and she said, call him and ask him. So he said, I called him and said, tell me something about your life that I don't know. And he told him his story. And then he crafted this speech, beautifully written, by the way, that Ryan put this together. So it was an actual event.
We were talking earlier about your character in this film and the
Right.
importance to you of really, when you came on the project, of not demonizing the role and
Right.
working with Ryan to really make him a full character. Can you talk about that?
Well, I recognize that there are movies sometimes where you need archetypes for characters, the good guy, the bad guy. And I've never felt like that's really what I'm good at. And maybe I'm not sure why, but the things that I typically feel like can be the best service at are things that are complicated, that have rough edges, that you're not sure how to characterize the person. And so with respect to this movie, it was important to me that this character not be someone who is so destructive to her and her life that she has to set herself free of him in order to become a more authentic person.
You are a world traveler. You will live a long time, have many friends, many experiences. You will have two marriages, one long, one short.
Am I in the long one or the short one?
Can tell. Also, you will lose all your money. I think in next 6 to 10 months. Don't worry, you will get it all back again. And you will come back to Bali and live here for 3 or 4 months and teach me English. I never had anybody to practice my English with. And then I will teach you everything I know.
Well, you know, look, I mean, it's Liz Gilbert's life, and I wanted to be true to it, and I wanted to be true to her, and I wanted to make sure she was satisfied. And I really reached out to her, and I asked her if she would help me and be involved, and she said, you know, it's your own deal, do whatever you want, but yes, I will. So I sent her every draft of the script. You know, she had notes, I would do them, we'd talk about things. A lot of times I would call her up and I would say, I want to connect the dots a little here, and like she would tell me stories, and then I'd say, like, why isn't that in the book? And she'd be like, I don't know, I should have put that in there. So we worked really well together. She visited the set. She saw the movie couple weeks ago, actually, 2 weeks ago. Called me up and said, you know, she was laughing and crying and said it made her feel like she was watching a home movie. So I feel I did my due diligence. I'm proud that she liked it. That's all I cared about at the end of the day. You can't please everybody, but I wanted her to be happy.
These are rambutan. They're delicious. It's like an orange made love to a plum. Would you like some?
When you put it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Hello.
thank you. Wow.
It's beautiful. Yeah. So, the best attraction of the tour,
Yes.
food from Bali.
Oh, good. I'm starving. Where should we go?
We should go to the best restaurant in town.
Of course.
My place.
And you and Julia make such a great sort of classic
Thank you.
on-screen couple together. What was it like working with her? Was the chemistry automatic? And
Automatic, because I went there at the very end of the shooting, and then they've been shooting for 3 months, so I was a new kid in town. But she, along with Ryan and Didi, the producer, made me feel very, safe and protected as long as I land in Bali. And those things happen. She's an amazing actress, but she's a great colleague. She really makes you feel part of the journey rather than telling you what to do or like, get on my boat, I am the one who has to sail in this movie. It's like we both have better swim together and see where we go. And that's nice because it's very creative and also very brave from her.
It was amazing, sublime. She's incredible person, not just an actress. I mean, she's the movie star, and I think we all, signed on to this, and one of the reasons is to work with her because she doesn't work that much anymore, and it's just like she's funny and became friends. She made it easy.
And then your character in the film, of course, has gone through a divorce, and she's sort of on this journey of self-discovery. And I know you're happily married, but I was curious if when you're playing a character like this, I mean, is there a journey of self-discovery that you sort of go on yourself?
Well, Liz Gilbert's book is so specific, and really all the information is there. And I think that she paints such a clear picture. And then Ryan, in his adaptation, talked to her so much that a lot of the things that we expound upon in the movie are things that she told Ryan that weren't necessarily in the book, because of course she can't put every single thing in the book. And especially for like Billy Crudup's character, you want people to understand this relationship. You want people to be invested in it from the beginning, and she rightfully didn't talk too much about him in the book. And so, Ryan just worked hard to find out things from her. Billy built a very specific character, and I think it was a great jumping off point for the movie. And it was nice to be able to expand things like that in the film, because there's just more to get to do in a movie than you can do in a book.
The sense of, I guess they're all kind of interrelated, but seeking out yourself in the world is a really great way to think about living your life, and that you can be closer to yourself by experiencing yourself in as big a context as possible. That's kind of a cool idea.
You need a good man.
You don't need a man, Liz. You need a champion.
My friends in New York say hello. My friends in LA, they don't know where I've been for the past few years or so. Paris to China.
Your life's changing. That's not a bad thing.
You sound good. Stronger.
Please tell me what there's to complain about.
I'm starving. Where should we go?
We should go to the best restaurant in town.
Of course.
My place.
Subtle.